Welcome to Metric Hub. Today I'm going to give a full paper revision on Communication Info, June 2023, paper 1. Right. So I'm going to do a revision on paper 1. Right. So let's go to the background. Right. You are the secretary of the SRC at your college. You are concerned about the health and safety of the students around the college, and you were touched by the article you read in addendum A attached, right? Unfortunately, I'm going to read the addendum, right? So on question 1, I'm going to just summarize on how to write a summary. I'm just going to give important points on how to write a summary. A summary is also known as a precise. A summary is also known as a precise. It is also known as a precise. So sometimes they will say write a precise, right? Meaning to say you are supposed to summarize, to write a summary, right? So question 1 is summary. Summarize 10 points, summarize 10 facts about health issues stated in the text. Use numbers or bullets to list sentences. Sentences should not be longer than 2 lines. The length of the summary should be 120 words. Your own heading, different from the one used in the text, and write it in a capital letter, right? So here you are supposed to write a summary in a bullet, or you are supposed to list in a bullet form, meaning to say you are going to write sentences, right, in the form of a sentence. And then the sentences should not be longer than 2 lines. No longer than 2 lines. 2 lines. Meaning to say you're supposed not to exceed 2 lines. And your words are supposed to be 120 words. They're supposed to be 120. If you count them, they're supposed to sum up to 120. And also you're supposed to make sure that you use your own heading. You use own heading. Meaning to say you need to formulate a heading which is different from the one that was given, right? And you're supposed to make sure that the heading is in capital letter. The heading is in capital letter. The heading is supposed to be in capital letter, right? Capital letters. Right. So that's the requirement. You're supposed to make sure that you write 10 points or 10 facts that you are going to draw from the what? From the addendum. You use the addendum to identify 10 facts about health issues, right? 10 facts about health issues, right? Stated in the what? In the addendum, right? So make sure that you use the correct grammar, and also use the correct sentence construction, as well as make sure that you produce 10 points. Spellings and grammars are supposed to be considered, and also punctuation has also marks. So make sure that you construct your sentences correctly and include the correct punctuations, right? The commas, the exclamation marks, the full stops, etc. Right. So let's go to question 2. Question 2. Let's go to question 2. Question 2. Right. Memorandum. Right. It reads, write a memorandum to students at your college to inform them about the article you read about COVID-19. Inform them about the person you visited, so inform them about the person you invited to speak about COVID-19. Give a reason why you want them to know about this. State the time, venue, and date of the meeting. The meeting should be in paragraph form. Use the form supplied on addendum B attached. Right? So here you're requested to write a memorandum to inform students at your college, right, about the article that you have read, right? So you're going to write a memorandum to inform students about the article that you read about COVID-19, right? So you also have to inform them about the person that you're going to invite to speak about COVID-19. You give the reason why you want them to know about this. You state the time, the venue, the date of the meeting, right? And also it's supposed to be in paragraph form, right? So you should take note, you should take into consideration that a paragraph should be at least uh, 5 to 6 or 5 to 7 sentences. So let's go to the addendum. Let's go to the addendum. Right. This is the addendum. Right. So you are required to write a memorandum to all students. To all students. So here you're going to write all students at your college. All students. Right. And then you are the secretary. You are the secretary. So you can write SRC secretary, or you write your name and your surname. SRC secretary. You write your name, or you can write your name and surname. You can write your name and surname. Right. And then the date. Right. Any date that is before the 12th of June is also what? Applicable. Right. So you can put any date, right? For example, you can just write 10 June 2020 or 2023. Right. So, and then the subject, right, is just the same as reference line, right? So here you're going to write about you're supposed to write about information about COVID-19. Information about COVID-19, right? Information about COVID-19, right? Information about COVID-19, right? So I'm going to write in capital letters. Information about COVID-19. Information about COVID-19. COVID-19, right? Or we can write any relevant subject relating to the content that you are supposed to write, right? So what are you going to write in the sentence, right? You are going to tell them that you read about the article, about this article, right? You're going to tell them that you read about, you tell them about, you tell them that you read about the article for COVID-19, right? Inform them about the person that you invited to speak about COVID-19. You give them the reason why you want them to know about COVID-19. You state the time, the venue, and the date, right? So this is what you are supposed to do, right? As per question. Question requires you to give the scenario that you read. I read an article about COVID-19, right? And then I would want to invite whom you're going to invite, right? The person whom you're going to invite, you write the name of the person, or for example, I would like to invite Mr. Um, Mr. Mkwena, for example, to speak about COVID-19. About COVID-19. Right. You should also give the reason for the invitation. Right. Right. And then you give the time. You give the time. The meeting will be held on the 16th of May 2023 at 'at the company or and also at 11:00 hours, which is the time, right? So you're supposed to include these things, right, in your memorandum. You're supposed to include this information about the reason why you want to invite, the name of the guest, and also the time, the venue, and the date. Right. So let's move on to question three. Question three, right? The facsimile, right? The facsimile, or the fax, right? The Secretary of the Minister of Health wants you to send them information about the college, including the province, name of the college, name of the principal, name of the campus location, name of the campus manager, and contact details. Use the fax form supplied on addendum C attached to write a fax to the secretary. The message should be in the paragraph form. So meaning to say, so we are supposed to put the message in a paragraph form. Make sure that you put it in a paragraph form. Right? So let's go to the addendum. Let's go to the addendum. This is the addendum, right? So here we are going to write, we are going to fill in the addendum 2. So you can write any name since the name of the person who's supposed to receive the fax has not been mentioned. So you can write any name, right? I can just say to Mr. Pule. To Mr. Pule, right? And then fax number. A fax number should have 10 digits. Supposed to have 10 digits, 10 numbers, right? Supposed to have 10 digits, right? For example, 051 678 779, 10 digits, right? And then from, right? So the minister wants you to write a fax giving the details about your college. So the from, you write your name. You write your name because you're the one who's supposed to write the fax, right? You write your name, Mr. Parker, right? And then date, you write any date that is before 12 June, right? So date is supposed to be in full. Date should be in full. Date should be in full, right? You're going to say 10 June 2023. And then the subject, right? So here you are supposed to provide information about your college, right? So you can write information in capital letters. Information about my college. Information about my college, right? Or any relevant heading that you can write. Right? So make sure that you write in capital letters here. Suppose make sure that you write in capital letters. Supposed to be in caps, right? Capital letters. Right. So we are going to provide information about your province. You're going to give information about your college, information about your principal, information about the campus, about your location, where are you located, information about your campus manager, or the name of your campus manager, and also contact details as provided. Contact details. So you need to provide this information in paragraph form, remember. It's supposed to be in paragraph. Make sure that it is in paragraph form. In paragraph form, right? So you're supposed to make sure that you provide the province, the college, the principal's name, the campus, where is it situated, the location, the campus manager, the name of the campus manager, and also the contact details of the campus, right? So that's how you answer that's how you answer a question 3. Effects. Effects. Right. How you answer effects. Right. So let's go to question 4. Question 4. Right. Question 4, which is an invitation letter. An invitation letter. An invitation letter. Right. So, write an invitation letter to the Minister of Health, Mr. Zweli Mkhize, to invite him to be a guest speaker at the launch of the health awareness campaign. The function will be held at the College Hall on 12 June 2023. The topic of the day is Fight Against COVID-19. Tell him that you are considered about the spread of coronavirus at your college because of all the students using the clocking device at the gate, the number of students in classes, and the fact that there are no sanitizers at the college for students to use. You must also request the minister to provide any advice in his speech on how students can fight the spread of the virus. Start and finish your letter with a good will paragraph. So here you are supposed to write a letter, right? An invitation letter, to be precise, an invitation letter to the minister, right? So a letter has two addresses. A letter has two addresses. So I'm just going to give you important points to consider when you are writing a letter, right? So a letter has an address on the far right. Here, remember, you are the SRC secretary, right? You are going to write a letter to the Minister of Health, Miss Dr. Zweli Mkhize, right? So you are going to write here on this other side at the far left, right, you are going to write the name of the college. Name of the college. Right. You write the private bag or a PO box. Private bag. Right. Or a PO box. Right. City. You write the city. The city is supposed to be in capital letters. The city in caps, right? And then after that, you write your postal address, the school postal code, the school postal code. Right. Once you've done that, you then skip a line, and then you write the date in full. Date in full. Right. So here, the function will be held on the 12th of June 2023. So the letter is supposed to be sent before the 12th of June, right? So when I write maybe 03 June 2023, right? 03 June 2023, right? So once you've done that, you then skip another line. You skip another line. Right. And then you write Dr. Zweli's address. Dr. Zweli's address. You write Dr. Zweli's address. Dr. Zweli. Dr. Zweli. Mkize. Right. And then you can say Minister of Health, Minister of Health, right? And then you write your PO box or a private bag, all right? And then town or city in caps, town or city in caps. The town or city should be in caps. Town or city in caps, in capital letters. Or a city, I suppose make sure that they are in caps, right? And then you put the postal code. The postal code supposed to be a 4-digit. Supposed to be a 4-digit number, right? So next, we are going to put a salutation, right? You skip another line. And then you salute, salutation, which is dear, right? Already you were given the name of the person, right? You were given the name of the person. So you can say, dear Mr. Mkize. Dear Mr. Mkize. Dear Mr. Mkize. Right. Once you've done that, you skip another line. And then you skip another line. And then you write your salutation. Salutation. So already you've done, so you write, the next thing that you're going to write is your subject line. Your subject line. Paper, you're going to write the reason for the letter. A reason for the letter, right? For example, here is what? Invitation to be the guest speaker, right? Invitation to be the guest speaker, right? Or you can say an invitation. So here, if it's like in small letters, or maybe if you write it like this, you're supposed to underline. You're supposed to underline it. And then when you're writing in capital letters, when you write in caps, you do not underline. When you're writing in caps, you do not underline. Right? So it's oral invitation to be the guest speaker. To be the guest speaker. So you do not underline. You do not underline. Right. So let's go to the first paragraph. The first paragraph. The first paragraph, which is the introduction. The first paragraph, which is your introduction. Right. So you then skip another line. You skip another line, and then you write your introduction. Right. You write the introduction. Introduction, which is the first paragraph. Right. So you can write like this. Namelo College is thereby inviting you to be the guest speaker on health awareness campaign. Right? It depends on how we are going to write it. But the first paragraph, paragraph, supposed to make sure that you give, you state the reasons for the invite. The reason for the invitation. Why are you inviting? The reason why you decide to invite him. Right. And then once you've done that, you then skip another line. You skip another line. And then you go to the second paragraph, which is what you call the body. The body, right? Here you are going to write the date of the what? Of the function. Date of the function. You are going to write the topic of the day. You are going to write concerns. Your concern is listed in the what? In the paragraphs below, above, right? And also students using clocks at the gate. Your concern include use of what? Use of clocking devices. At the gate. Right. That's your concern. Right. And then you state that you're supposed to give any piece of advice. Supposed to give another concern as well is no sanitation at college. No sanitation at college. And also any two pieces of advice. Any two pieces of advice that you can give to the learners. Right. Once you've done that, you are going to skip another line. You're going to skip another line. Right. And then you go to the third, which is conclusion. You conclude the letter with a goodwill. With a goodwill. We are looking forward to spend the day with you, or I hope you attend, or it will be grateful if you attend, right? Make sure that you include goodwill. Make sure that you are polite, right? And after that, you're supposed to skip another line. You skip another line. You skip another line. You skip another line. And you write, skip another line. You skip another line. So it's very important for you to make sure that you know where to skip another line. You skip another line, right? And then you write yours, right? Here you are given the name of the what? Of the receiver. So you can write yours sincerely, or you can write faithfully. Right. Yours sincerely or yours faithfully. You then skip another line and you write the signature. You sign, you put a signature. You put a signature, you sign. Right? And you write your name and surname in capital letter. Name, surname, in capital letters. And you write the position. Position in capital letters. In capital letters, we should go in caps and short. In caps, in capital letters. Right. So do not forget that sincerely normally is you write sincerely if you know the person. If you know the person. And faithfully if you do not know the person. Right. Remember that a letter carries it is carrying 20 marks. So consider, don't make mistakes. Right? A letter carries. So grammatic mistakes are also considered as mistakes that can cost you marks. So make sure that you write the correct spellings and also the correct grammar. Right. Right. So let's move on to the last question. Let's move to the last question, right? Which is a progress report. And the progress report has how many marks? It has 30 marks out of 100. 30 marks out of 100. Right. So let's go to question 5, progress report. Right. Right. It says, The day of the launch is closed. The day of the launch is closed. The campus manager has requested you to compile a progress report on the preparation regarding the health awareness program. Write the report in a memo form, right? So you are supposed to write a progress report, right, in a memo form, So task completed in the campaign includes Dr. Zweli's Mkhize's response to the invitation to be a guest speaker, securing a venue, task being attended to include the following: formal invitations sent out to surrounding schools, business, and mayor, sound system. Tasks to be completed include the printing of programs and cleaning the halls. Right. So we are going to write a progress report. Right. So here you are tracking on the progress of the event. Ne? You are tracking on the progress of the event. So you are going to write the progress of the event. Right. So just gonna look for another page, right? So that I can be able to write the progress report. Right. So this is the page, right? Right. So a memorandum form is a format is like this. Supposed to have two from, date, and the subject. Right. So the memorandum report is sent to the campus manager. So we're going to write to the campus manager. The campus manager. From, you write your name and your surname. You write your name and your surname. All right. The date, any date which is before the 12th of June is also applicable. Let me just write 10 June 2023. And then the subject. You can write a progress report, right, about the healthy awareness campaign. Remember, subjects are supposed to be written in capital letters. Progress report. Progress report about the preparation, for the health campaign, for the health campaign, for the health campaign. For the health campaign. Right. And then we're going to write the background. The background. So on background, you're supposed to tell us about, we're going to list information about the name of the instructor who has instructed you to write the report. We're going to give information about the date of the instruction. When were you instructed to write the report? And what is the report about? What is the report? What is the report about? What is the report about? Right. That's what we are supposed to write on the background. Right. And then 2, we're going to write the purpose. The purpose. What does the report wants to achieve, right? So the purpose of the report is 1, to report back on task completed. To report back on task completed. On task completed. You're supposed to report back on tasks that are being attended. Tasks that are being attended. And lastly, tasks that are still not completed. Are still not completed. That are still not completed. Right. That's the purpose of the report. The purpose of the report. Right. And then number 3, you are supposed to write on the task completed. 3, task completed. Right. And then number 4, you are supposed to write on tasks that are being attended. Task being attended. And then point number 5, tasks still to be completed. You're going to write on tasks still to be completed. And then number 6, you're going to conclude. You're going to write a conclusion. You're going to make a conclusion. Right. For example, you can say, all tasks are running smoothly. Or you can say, all arrangements are running smoothly as a conclusion. As a conclusion. So that's how you write a summary. So here you're going to fill in task completed already. There is something that was written on task that were completed. There was information that was written on task being attended and also tasks that are still completed. So we're not going to fill in the what? The information. Already the information is already there in the passage, right? Already the information is already there. So what you need to do is just to fill in, right? So I think today that's we are going to end here. Thank you so much for your time. Please subscribe, comment the videos. Have a good day.